I feel like life gets even harder when you don't have a purpose. Um, I've been really struggling with feeling happy and being happy with my life. I don't know if it's just life in general, it just is hard when you grow up, or if I'm genuinely not happy with where I am and what I'm doing in my life. I honestly think it's both, but mainly the second one, because I am the one living my life, and I honestly just I'm not happy. I haven't been happy with being in school. I also think it's like I can't find proper connections anymore. It's hard for me to talk to people or even want to be around people. I mean, sometimes when I'm around people, I start to perk up, but I'm always like, I don't really feel like going to this thing or that thing. I don't know. I'm just like really disoriented all the time. I don't know where my life is going, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing here anymore. And I guess I'm just been in this depressive phase where I just don't really understand like what my purpose in life is. Um, and like I'm just getting really annoyed with everything and everyone around me. It's like, I'm miserable, so I think very miserably, and everybody annoys me, and I don't want to be around people anymore. And it's just life sucks. There's no happiness anymore. There's nothing that is going to make it better for me. And sometimes I don't like admitting this to myself because I feel like I'm just kind of being a baby for no reason. It's all a part of growing up and whatever. But I envy the people that already know what they want to do or have had a passion. And I know there are some people who even go to university who pursue their degrees, who go through school and go through all the processes of, getting a degree and stuff like that, that they don't even want to do that themselves. Maybe they're being forced, or their parents are forcing them to do this, or they're being pressured. But, at least they're ambitious enough to actually go to class every day and make an effort to like learn and do well. And, I have somewhat of that ambition myself, but like there comes to a point where, classes, I don't want to go to class anymore. I'm just stressed out, and I don't even think that I'm going to use my degree for anything. I just, every option that I've looked at that can go into my degree, I don't have an interest in. I guess I have somewhat of an interest, but to pursue it as a career, I don't know if I would do well at it, where that would go, and if I'd even enjoy it long term. I just can't seem to find anything that can satisfy me and like, oh yeah, this is my goal. I'm going to strive to do this, or I'm going to continue to do this, and then I'll move up, and then I'll go to this. Like, I can't think of anything that has really fuels me and, makes me strive to do well. Like, it almost seems like I want to satisfy for the bare minimum. Like, what's crazy is that I'm so willing to just get a regular, like, minimum wage job as like a barista at like a Starbucks or something like that, and just work and get money, and then earn enough money, and then figure things out. And it's really, I hate saying that because I should want to strive for more and want to do more with my life. And maybe university just isn't the path that I need to take. But sometimes like you kind of feel like you're in so deep that you don't want to back out now. I've already done 3 years in school, and I have another 2. And I really don't want to take a break, because if I take a break, then I'm going to have to go back at some point and finish my 2 years. And I really just don't want to go back to school. And plus, if I take a break now, all my friends are going to still be here, whatever. But I think some of my friends are graduating this year. So, I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen. I'm just not enjoying school anymore. And I've gone down this rabbit hole of hating my life. Because I just feel like it's the same thing and I'm repeating the same thing all the time, and I don't even know where it's going to lead me or where it's going to go. And I'm always like, yeah, I'll figure it out. But what I hate about myself is that I'm a very indecisive person. And it takes a lot of time for me to come up with a decision and make a decision for myself. And it's come to the point where it's affecting myself and how I see myself and how I make decisions. And it also affects my relationships in my life with the people around me too. There's so many things that I notice about myself, whether it's like red flags or things I want to fix, and it affects me in my real life, and it's so hard to break the bad habit of it. And it's hard. Like when you have a bad habit, it's really hard to break it. Even though you know it's a bad habit, you've always lived like that. So to just like stop doing it, even though you know that it affects your life and it affects like your lifestyle, it's really hard. And another thing that I struggle with is time management. And it's almost like I can never be on time to things. And I overestimate how much time I have, and then I'm always rushing at the end. And this has affected my friendships, my relationships with other people, and myself, because I'm constantly running late to class, running late. Like, I don't know. It's just something that I need to fix. And it's really hard for some reason. I always it's either I wake up late and then I only give myself this amount of time. And for me, again, what's coming into indecisiveness is that I'm a person who needs everything and needs to bring my entire life with me. So when I have to wake up to get to class, say my class is at 12:30, and I wake up, I go to bed late the previous night. I go to bed at 5 a.m. and then I wake up, I at least have to give myself 2 hours before class to pack everything, get everything ready, and then to leave. And then I might wake up at 11:30, and it's not enough time, because I'm always somebody. Also, if you hear people talking, that is my roommates, and they're being loud as hell. Don't even get me started on that, or on them, on one in particular, because I've kind of have been having a lot of issues, but that is besides the point. So I end up waking up late, and then for me now, I spend so much money on groceries. I don't want to buy food out. So, I buy all my groceries, and I need to pack a whole meal with me. I need to bring this. I need to bring this snack. I need to bring that snack. I need to pack this. I need to have all of this in my meal. I need to have tomatoes, avocados, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese. I have to have everything in one meal. And I spend so much time packing it. And then it takes me a whole 2 hours to make sure I have everything to leave the house for my class. And then by the time I know it, my class starts in 15 minutes and I'm still at home. Even if I left right now, I would not make it on time. And then I end up leaving, and catching the bus by the time my class already has started. And I'm always late, even to friend functions and stuff like that. When I hang out with friends, I'm always late to things. And it's something that I'm just really annoyed at myself for, because I don't understand why I can't be on time. because I leave things to the last minute. So I try to make rules with myself so that I can follow them. Like a rule that I recently told myself is I can't pack a whole thing the hour before class. I need to pack it the day before. No matter how tired I am or if I have homework, like I need to like spend that time, no matter if it's like 4 a.m. in the morning, packing food, because I can't do it an hour before my class. I don't have time, and I'm always running late that way. So anyways, that's something that I'm very indecisive about. I always need everything. Even if I forget a snack or a drink, I want to go all the way back home just to get it. And then half the time I don't even end up drinking it or eating it. And it's just something that I've always had, and I've been struggling with this. And I don't really understand why I do that. It's almost like I need everything I don't understand that. And I've been trying to slowly break that habit by saying, okay, if I don't need something, like I don't need this, I'm not going to have this today. I don't need, even if like, I'm not going to bring it. Because I tend to, like, I want to bring things, like I'd rather bring it than not have it just in case. But I need to tell myself, like, okay, I can either bring this or that. I can't bring both. But, you know, I'm still working on that. Sometimes the habit breaks in, and like even if I do make rules for myself or try to make myself decide on two things, or like either that or that, I end up just bringing both of them or buying both of them. It literally happened today. Today was like a really bad day for me. I didn't know that today would go this way, because yesterday I was completely fine, and today I woke up and I actually fell asleep last night watching shows, and I woke up. Oh my God, my roommates are really annoying me. They're in the kitchen laughing and talking, and it's really loud. Meanwhile, this girl has not sent me the Wi-Fi. Like, I'm going off topic, but it's really annoying me because these are the kind of things that adds up. I'm already in a bad mood and I'm already struggling, and it's just these things that people do that to annoy me that just makes it 10 times worse, and just makes my life 10 times worse because I have to deal with it. I'm the person who takes care of the Wi-Fi, and I pay the main bill, and then I ask everybody every month to pay me their portion of the bill. And this roommate in particular, I've had other problems with her, but I literally text in our group chat. I'm like, hey guys, just paid the Wi-Fi bill. Can you please send me like your portion of the money to like my email or my number? And everybody else, you know, they pay as soon as I ask them. I'll give you, like, if you need time, I'll give you like 2 or 3 days, you know, I'll give you some time to pay the bill. But, you know, everybody, they're responsible enough to send me the money, you know, a few minutes like after I ask for the money. But this one roommate in particular, she literally, I know she sees the message because it's in our group chat, and she doesn't send me the money. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give you a week. I don't tell her this, but I don't say anything because, you know, I don't want to rush people. So I just let time pass, and I give her a little bit of time to pay it, because I remember when somebody else was handling the Wi-Fi, you know, I didn't really send them the money right away. I think I probably took a few days to send it. So I'm like, okay, maybe she needs some time. So I wait a few days, and she still hasn't sent the money. And it's been a week, and I know she's seen the message because she wrote something else in the group chat. Again, with these people, there was I think I was cooking once, and like I was cooking some chicken, and then some of it burnt, like the seasoning on it burnt, and I don't remember what happened, but I think I was washing the pot out in the sink, and then some of the seasoning or whatever from the pot went on the little drain. And yeah, it's my fault, it's my responsibility, it's my food, I should have thrown it out. But then somebody comes and they're like, oh, like, whoever food is in the drain, can you please clean it, or can you clean it up? And then another one's like, oh yeah, like I cleaned it up. I don't want to have to be cleaning up other people's mess, so whatever. And yeah, it was my fault. I take responsibility because it was my mess. And I wasn't trying to leave it there. I sometimes, again, with me, is that, and I probably could communicate this more, like, I'm rushing to leave the house, or I'm really tired, so I kind of might leave something and then later on I'll clean it up. But yeah, I guess I could see how it looked like I was leaving it there and whatever. And again, they want to flame me in the group chat. They didn't know it was me because I didn't say anything. I mean, I know some people probably suspect it's me, but then she goes and types like, oh, I didn't cook, so I don't know who that is, whatever. And then she puts like a little like barfing emoji. So I know she's seen the group chat, and I know she sees it all the time. This is not the first time that I've had to wait on her for the money. I don't understand why she doesn't just send it right away. If she forgets about it, I don't know why she doesn't just send it like as soon as she gets the message, because that's protocol, girl. You have to pay the Wi-Fi bill. So I don't know why you're trying to make things more difficult and wait. It's almost like she thinks that I'm going to forget about it, and she thinks I'm going to forget to ask her, and then she's going to get away with not paying it. But I don't know why she doesn't just send me the money right away. So now I have to go and message her and chase her down for the money when she should have sent it to me a week ago. Because I already know that another week is going to pass and she's not going to send shit. So I have to now be saying, hey, can I get the money for this February, like the week of the month of February? Can I get the money? Because, and this time, usually I just ask for it and she's like, yeah, whatever. But this time I'm actually gonna like say like, hey, I would appreciate if you would send the money sooner, so I don't have to keep chasing you down all the time for the money, because I have to always be asking you like in private for the money, and everybody else sends it to me right after I ask. So I would appreciate it if you would be a little, because I know, like, girl, she already knows that she has to send me money. So it's not like she doesn't have money. The Wi-Fi bill is like $16. You like, and this is mandatory. You have to pay for Wi-Fi. So I know she has $16 to give me. But that's something else. I'll figure that out. I don't really like her, and she probably doesn't like me either, because I had to talk to her about some other things as well that were bothering me. But yeah, of course there's going to be those kind of roommates. But anyways, those are just things that make my life even harder than they need to be. I'm already dealing with a lot, and I know I hate saying this because I know other people are probably dealing with more than me, and I don't want to seem like, oh my gosh, my life is so hard, because I know that other people have it worse. But just because somebody else has it worse or other people have it worse doesn't mean that my problem isn't a problem. And I also like to tell myself that too. I love to guilt trip myself into saying like why are you sad, this and that, and talk myself down and talk my problems down. Meanwhile, they're still engraved into me, and I'm constantly struggling with them all the time. And it's just put me in a really dark place where I feel like I don't know what I'm doing in like on this earth. Like I don't know what my purpose is, because I have no ambition for anything, and I kind of just feel like I'm constantly being hit with disappointment after disappointment. And it's also, again, the little things that add up. The little things that add up. I'm also struggling with finding co-ops and applying to jobs. That's equally as stressful. The job market is shit, and finding a job as a student is really hard. And it's just so stressful. And I have 3 more co-op terms to fulfill. So I'm hoping to get maybe an 8-month co-op so that I can, either an 8-month or a 12-month. But then I asked my advisors if I can get, do a 12-month, because the places I'm applying to, they prefer 12-month, like 8-month or 12-month co-ops. So I kind of just want to get my co-ops done with. I have 3 more, and if I do a 12-month, then that will fulfill all my 12 months. But I will be away from school for like a year, but at least I'll have my co-ops done, so I don't have to worry about them anymore. And like, I just get like emails and stuff like that. I still have like courses to fulfill for my program that I need to do before I graduate. And they're even saying, if you can't fulfill all of them now, then you might have to stay another year, or not another year, but like might have to stay longer to fulfill all the classes for your program. That is the last thing I want to do. I don't want to be at school anymore. I guess school wasn't really for me, like university. I don't think it was for me. I don't want to take a break because I don't want to have to postpone my time here any more than it needs to be. But I also feel like I'm breaking down and I'm falling apart, and I don't know if this is even worth it. I don't even know if I'm going to use this in the future. It's always good to have a degree, and it's always good to, be educated, because you can't beat being educated in like the job market. They obviously want people with experience and with knowledge rather than not. And it will help me even if I don't use it right after I leave. It will help me in the future. So I already know that, having a degree is good, but like, it's really hard to plan out your future when you don't have a passion for anything. And me personally, I want a passion for something, and I want to do something I'm passionate in rather than seek money. Money is not my motivation. Money, like, obviously I want to make money and I want to be able to sustain like living and whatever, but I won't choose a job just because it makes me a lot of money. I need to be passionate in what I'm doing, because if I don't enjoy what I'm doing, I'm not going to strive hard to succeed in it and continue with it for the rest of my life and even grow and like go up in higher levels. I will not want to do that because I don't care for it. So, to all the engineers and scientists and whatever who, will probably be making bank, they might not have a passion for it. Maybe they're just doing it for money, but money is their motivation, and money is not my motivation. So it's hard for me to do something, to just pick something and say, okay, I'm going to do this. That's hard for me. And I don't think that's going to be the right solution for me, because I just don't know if I'm going to be motivated enough to do well if I don't enjoy it. So that's why I need to have a passion, and I need to do something that I'm passionate about. I just can't find it. And I guess there is one thing that I am interested in learning more about and maybe pursuing, which is acting. And I've been able to dabble into a few things involving acting recently. I stumbled on a flyer advertising acting lessons last term, and I signed up for it, And I started taking the classes, and it was fun, and we put on like a little performance, and it was fun. A lot of the people though were older. There were a few people my age, maybe like there was like two people my age, but everybody else was like much older. So I didn't really get much of the, you know, like the same age group, but it was still fun nevertheless. And I am doing it again this term. And it's taught me a lot. And this time, instead of just getting a few lines, I'm actually gonna get I have like a TV scene, and then I have a theater scene. So that's better, and I'm experimenting with that. And obviously, every time I'm on social media, I get advertisements like on Instagram, because Instagram listens to every single word that you say. And I always get like these ads, and I signed up for some, and there's like audition stuff, and trying to work on that right now. The only thing that I'm worried about in entering that field is just all of the publicity that is included in it. And obviously, with that, you are putting yourself in the public eye, and you are putting yourself, you're exposing yourself. And in a way that just like, I'm very hesitant on doing that, because I've seen like social media and just how like people in the public eye are treated, and social media is very brutal. Being a YouTuber or being an actor or somebody in the public eye, you're always getting hate and whatever, and you kind of just always have to like present yourself well. And there's things you can say, there's things you can't say. Like, I feel like, and you always have to even be, you're kind of pressured to like keep up a certain physical appearance. And I don't know, I think it's just like a lot that I don't know if I want to put myself in that scenario where I always have to be prepared to be seen in front of others and be in that spotlight. Because recently I've been struggling with spotlight and people observing me and people having their eyes on me. I don't particularly like that. I'm trying to, improve that skill a little bit. I've even been thinking about taking like a public speech class. That's the last thing I want to do. And like, I think I can take it because I'm in communications, and, you can take a public speaking class. But, I always said, like, I looked at that one, I'm like, yeah, that's the last one I'm going to do. I'm not doing that one, but maybe I should. I don't know. I don't really want to take that, but maybe it's just will prepare me a little bit more for that kind of thing. And on top of that, I've always been an insecure person as well. And I've kind of never been okay with a lot of things about myself. And I kind of just feel like if you're not really a secure person, showing yourself to other people is not really going to help that. It's probably going to make it worse. And I've been constantly trying to find ways to, love myself more. It's just really hard because like constantly comparing yourself to other people in all different kinds of ways, and never thinking that you're good enough for things. And I know that like I'm my biggest enemy, and you're never gonna see improvements if you don't like work towards them. And I know this. It doesn't make it any more easier. I think I also just put so much struggle on myself and strain on the smaller things. And I don't really give myself a break. And I'm constantly pushing myself in ways that, like only I see, nobody else sees. And I'm just kind of getting exhausted. That's exhausting me in itself. Like, for example, meal prepping and constantly buying myself groceries and cooking for myself. I like to do that, and I like to do that more than I like to eat out. It's just really, like, you have to be doing that every day. Sometimes I will be in the kitchen for 2, 3, 4, 5 hours cooking, and it's really exhausting and tiring to do that all the time. And to meal prep is so exhausting. To buy groceries is like so exhausting. I have to be doing all this for myself. I don't have a car, and I don't really have anybody who can help me with that. I have to be doing all this myself. Like, I feel like I do work hard to take care of myself. It's just really exhausting. And taking care of yourself is really exhausting. And I just think that I'm struggling with being an adult. And inevitably that's something that has to happen. It's just really hard for me to balance everything. And I'm constantly very exhausted, and I don't really know what to do anymore. Nothing makes me happy anymore. Half the time I don't even want to see people, and I don't even want to see my friends, because social interaction does not make me happy. I feel like it's like the same old thing. I've started to feel less inclined to do things for fun, and I'm more so into like productive mode. Like, I want to do things for my future. Like, hanging out with friends and whatever, it's not a priority to me anymore. If I know that it's not going to include my future, then it doesn't make sense to me anymore. Because I'm really trying to know where my life is going. After university, I want to know what I'm doing, because I just feel like I'm dragging myself along every single day, and I don't know what is gonna come of any of this. That's the scary part, and that's what I'm dealing with right now. It's just where everything is gonna go. And I'm very much a planner. I like to plan things. I'm not really good with spontaneous events happening or spontaneity. I'm not good at that. I like to have a plan. Literally every single day, I make a mental note of like, this is what I want to do today. This is what I want to get done today. And sometimes if things go off plan, I get really mad. Or like, it comes to the point where if I tell myself, oh, tonight I'm going to read a chapter of my book, I'm going to even like read webtoons, I'm going to read one chapter of my webtoons that I want to read, whatever, it could be things like, or I'm going to like start on this project, whatever. And if I don't do it because, I do something else, either I'm in the kitchen cooking or I'm scrolling too long on social media or TikTok or Instagram, and I waste my time, I get so mad at myself, and that I just ruined my productivity. For the past 2 weeks, before I just had reading week, and the week before that, I have one class that goes until, like, it only runs once a week in person, because it's like an online class. So you have asynchronous work and you have synchronous work in class, and then you get marks. So you kind of have to go to class to get the synchronous marks, because you do like a small project with your table, and then you submit it. And I didn't go to my other class last week, or before the reading week, and I got so mad at myself. And I'm like, okay, yeah, obviously the week I come back, I'm gonna go to the class. My class is at 11:30. For some reason, I completely forgot either that day was Thursday, or I forgot I had the class, and I wake up at 12 p.m. and I'm like, today is literally Thursday, and I had my class, and I was so mad at myself for not going. And guess what? Even if I leave right now, like, I still have all this preparation to do before, and I'm gonna miss my class. And these are the kind of things that I like really beat myself up for, because I don't really like to miss class. I know like there's a lot of people who miss class even if there's work due. I don't like to miss class. And this also takes away from grades that I could be getting in that class, because I'm not attending, and it's not even for a good reason. So these are the small things that I like to beat myself up for, because I feel very irresponsible, and like, this did not need to happen. I'm just missing marks, and like, if I get a bad grade in this class, I'm going to hate myself, because I'm like, wow, I could have done better if I just went, because I'm not going to my class, and it's not for a good reason. It's just because I can't go to sleep, and I'm not going to sleep at a reasonable time. So I have a lot of bad habits that catch up to me, and then it just like derails my whole plans. So it's just really hard for me to feel happy with myself, because I think I'm very hard on myself, and I put myself through extra labor, like randomly, like even walking. I love walking, and I'm the kind of person who I'd rather walk than take the bus, and I walk everywhere. Even though I live like 20 minutes away from school, I still walk there and I walk back. And then sometimes I just like force myself and to do things even if I'm tired. I just overwork myself. And I don't really know how to not do that, because I think it just comes with like self-hatred. Like, I feel like I'm not good enough, so I need to work hard, and then even if I do work hard, I'm still not good enough. Like, I can't find eternal happiness. That is the main cause of everything. I'm just not happy with myself, and it's really hard to feel confident and to gain that confidence. I also feel very alone in many ways, and I have people who are here to support me and friends, but sometimes I don't like to go to people with my problems, because I feel like it's pointless. There's nothing that person can do to solve your problems. I don't typically like to rant and spill out my problems to people. That does nothing. That does absolutely nothing. That's not going to fix anything. Why am I just going to you and crying to you about something that you cannot change? If I like that, I do really want to go to therapy, like a real therapist, because I've done therapy at school, and I don't even know what happened to that, because as soon as my new term started, no more lessons, and I had a meeting to like a therapy session, and she didn't message me, and she hasn't contacted me ever since the new term started. So I don't know what's going on with that, but I actually want to go to some real counseling, because I just think I need to figure this out. I need to figure myself out, and I need to know how to, like, what my purpose is. Because I'm just not feeling happy. And I don't want to diagnose myself with depression, but I think I am falling along those lines of depression because, I've been feeling this for a long time. And, like, I just don't know how to. I'm also, like, reminiscing about things that I don't have, that I desire, that I want in my life. And again, if I want it, I just have to work hard to get it, or I just have to make those advances and actually, get it, instead of feeling bad for myself for not having it. But the reason I don't do it is because I don't want to force myself into something that isn't meant for me right now. And I also don't think I'm in the right mental state to be adding more things to my plate. I think I do still have a lot of self-work to do, and I don't think I'm in the right mental state to be adding something else or adding someone else to my life, because, like, I don't know if I can balance so much more than I already am. But I guess you could say, in terms of, like, a career path, the one thing that I, want to pursue or have a passion for, you could say, is acting. But and I think that came about because, I've always been someone who loves social media and loves entertainment. I love entertainment. I use entertainment for all forms of, like, soothingness, and like, it calms me. I always, like, go to entertainment when I'm in a stressful situation, or if I just, I'm bored, or, if I, like, in any situation. And I've loved it since I was little, and I've always loved watching movies and my favorite YouTubers and things like that. So I just think that I am a very artsy person, and I also connect a lot with, people. I've always, at first I wanted to be a therapist because, or like a psychologist, because, I am interested in people's emotions and their problems. But when it came to the schooling, I just am not enjoying studying psychology. It's just not really something I enjoy doing. So it's kind of deterred me from even being able to pursue being a psychologist or a therapist, because you need psychology, and you need, like, most of the times you need a master's. So, and I really don't want to go. That was a plan. I was going to do my master's and whatever, but I just don't think school is where I want to be, and I don't want to be studying. It's also a lot of money that I'm running out of. So I just don't think right now that's going to happen. And unfortunately, I don't think being a therapist or whatever is in my cards, because I have to do all the schooling. It's not just something you can get your license in. You have to, like, go to school for that. And it's just, I'm not enjoying the process of it all. So what makes me think I'm going to actually enjoy the end result. Like, you kind of have to enjoy the process of it, because the process is longer than the end result. And who knows, maybe I won't like it, because I kind of see it as one way, like, oh, you have this and this and this, and you just need to do this and this, and then they'll just listen to you and their life will be better. That's not it. Like, I think it's like a lot harder than that. You're gonna have a lot of people that like rebel and lie and say, oh yeah, I'm doing it, and they don't do it. And a lot of people with like addictions, or a lot of people who don't want to be helped, and a lot of people with habits that is hard to break, because I know habits are hard to break. I deal with that every day, so I know it's harder than it looks. So maybe it's just gonna stress me out, and it's probably not for me. So maybe it's not the career path I need to be going to, but that makes it 10 times harder, because then if I don't have that, what else do I have? What else am I good at? I also thinking about being like a content creator, but I don't really know what kind of content I would produce or pursue, because I can't think of anything that I'm confident enough or passionate in to actually do. I don't really have something that fuels me and like, oh, I want to make content about this. Like, I just don't really know what my whole image would be like. I think in these cases, I'd rather work with a team rather than on my own, because I don't even know where to start in any of this, in any career path. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. I am not really that ambitious enough to, make all these connections and like do this and do that and start this and build this. Like, I don't know where to start half the time. I guess also part of it is like, I was never taught. So I don't know, but like, I have to do more research. It's just a lot. And I guess I just need to look for resources, because I know that like the only person who can help you is yourself. And I know that. It's just, it doesn't defeat the fact that it's really hard to get started and to get to be who you want to be, or be this person that like, I always feel like people know more than me, and I think that's true. Like, I always like, I don't know enough about it. I need to do this, I need to do the research, I need to do that. Like, there's so much more I need to know about something, and it deters me from even like feeling like I'm good enough to do it, because I'm like, who really wants to hear what I have to say, or listen to what I have to say, or care about like what I am doing, because people probably know more. People are probably more educated, and they have done more, and like, I'm just not good enough. That's just the whole story of it. I'm just trying to find out how I'm different, and like what skills I have that will get me somewhere. And I just kind of feel like everybody is like 10 steps ahead of me. And then I guess, again, the path would be to do the work and get to where everybody else is, and then do more work and then get ahead of everybody else. But then there's nothing that I want to do or have passion in to actually do that. I feel like I know all the answers, or I mean, I don't know all the answers, but I feel like I'm in this constant, like I know the right answer, or the answer that is like the realistic answer, but again, it's just hard to implement that and actually do it. The actions are the hardest part in anything you do. So everything is just kind of weighing on me, and I don't really know where to look or where to turn to. It just kind of seems like every path has a dead end, and I don't know how to get out. So yeah, I'm just really hoping that I find a purpose, because it kind of seems like without one, then it's all pointless and I don't know what I'm doing. And I don't even know if I'll ever be happy again, because it just seems like everything, like the truth is everything has its pros and cons. And there's never one thing that will be 100% perfect. It will always have cons and downsides and consequences. And that's the hardest part for me, and that's what triggers my indecisiveness, because I look at one way and I'm like, oh, I want to do this, or I want to have this. But on the other end, it has all this, and you have to worry about this, and you have to deal with that later and whatever. And it deters me from wanting to do it, or wanting to have it, or wanting to get it. And I think it's good that I always think about the pros and cons, because it just does allow me to see many sides of it, many sides to the story. And that's one thing I like about myself. I will compliment myself if it'll help with my self-esteem. But I do think of both sides of the story, and I do think about a lot of different ways things can go, and how it's good and how it's bad. But in the same way, that's how my indecisiveness starts to brew, is because I'm just thinking about, I think a lot of the cons in my decisions outweigh the pros, and it prevents me from wanting to do it, because maybe I'm just scared of the risk, or I'm scared of the consequences I'll have to face. And you don't know how it's gonna go or where it's gonna go. It's always the story's very unanswered. There's so many nuances, and you just don't know. So I'm learning on taking some of those risks and trying to find myself. Because I don't really want to have to worry about, you should never have to find your self-worth in somebody else. And I always think about that too. I always, I want somebody to reassure me in a sense. I think I do still look at validation from others. I mean, not desperately. I always kind of look for self-validation first, but it is nice to receive validation from other people. And sometimes I just feel like, I don't get it a lot of the times. It's not that people are looking down on me. It's just I feel like I treat other people how I want to be treated. And sometimes people don't see that, and it's probably just not their natural instinct to do that. But sometimes it's hard, because I could tell a friend or a family member I'm really proud of you and whatever, and reassure them and compliment them and whatever. And sometimes I feel like I just want the same treatment back. And maybe I do get it. Maybe it's just not in the way that I want. And that's the hard part too. It's communication is so hard. and interacting with other people, because you don't want to have to tell people how to treat you. You kind of just would like, you want them to know, but you can't just expect people to know how you want to be treated. So you kind of have to communicate that. And that's something that I'm struggling with as well. It's like, how I treat people is how I want to be treated too. I kind of just feel like one of the reasons why I don't really like socializing with people anymore is because I don't really feel acknowledged. Sometimes, I'm there, I'm like asking them questions. I'm really interested in everything they have to say. And sometimes it does feel like when I'm in a situation or, a group and I want to talk, it doesn't seem like everybody's interested, or, I kind of just, or like people aren't really as engaged with what I have to say, or they don't really take the time to ask things about myself and get to know me as a person. And it just kind of doesn't make me feel seen. And it's almost like people don't really do that anymore. They don't really try to connect with you as people. They kind of just, that's not really how conversations go anymore. And it's just really odd to me. Like, and I don't typically like that, because I kind of just don't like feel a sense of connection. I feel like it just kind of makes me feel like, what's the point? So sometimes I feel like I'm able to distance myself, or I'm okay with not having people around, because I just don't really feel like socializing with people fulfills me anymore. Everybody is so focused on themselves that they don't really care about you. And they don't really care to get to know you. And it just makes, like, not even, like, socializing is not even fun anymore. But you, like, also being lonely all the time and never having people around you is also extremely lonely. And you crave connection with people, but you're not really satisfied in what you're getting. And it could be people that are around me but that it just doesn't help anything. So I just don't really find any form of happiness in anything anymore. So, I hope that I find something that will fuel me. I think I might go in the acting route potentially. I'm still very hesitant on that, because like I don't know where I want that to go. I don't know if I want it to be, I don't know if I want to make it a full-time thing. I kind of just want to make it on this, like, what I said to myself too is I want to have like different plans, because I think it's smart to have like a plan A, a plan B. It's hard because I can't even find a main plan, but if I were to, I don't want to just make acting like my end all be all, and I don't have another option just in case that doesn't work out, because obviously I already know that industry is not easy as well, and I don't even know if I want it to go like how I want that to go, because I'm just not really into the whole like public eye scene, everything like that. It's just not, it's not a good industry in my opinion. There's a lot of complications that come with that too, and it's a very detrimental on people's mental health, physical health, everything. So I'm not doing that for the glamour. I'm just doing it because I really like analyzing people and connecting with people and understanding people. And you can do that as you analyze and connect with a character that you're playing. And you can really get into their headspace and how they're feeling. That's kind of why it interests me, because you have an opportunity to express yourself in many ways, and play someone that could be different to you or similar to you. But I just find the experience fascinating. When you're actually doing it, it's harder than it looks, especially if you're not experienced or trained, because I don't really have training or experience. So, but I think even after school, it's something that I do want to look into, and continue doing. So and to be honest, I've even been looking at schools that, like film schools, that I could do that in. Like if I had to go back to school again, that would be something that I would be interested in doing. But I think I need to do a little bit of work and earn some money, because I'm in a lot of debt now, and especially in 2 years or whatever happens, I'm going to be even more debt. So I don't know if I can really rush back into school after that. I'd like to pay off some of my student debt and try to figure myself out and just work for a bit. I think I want to do that. I don't expect myself to get in any major career after school, but I'd hope to figure out my path a little bit more. And I really want to work, probably doing a minimum wage job, to be honest. And I don't have a problem with that. I really don't. So I was fortunate enough to never have to work in high school, so I don't really know what that experience is like. And I don't think it's glamour. I'm not looking for glamour and perfection and working at some top-notch thing or working in a perfect environment. I'm just looking to gain some experience in doing a regular job, because I never did that, and I've never worked in retail or worked in, and there's always complaints and downsides with it, and experiencing really negative customers and dealing with this and dealing with that. I already know that, but I would like to experience that. My goal is to work. If I had to choose, I'd really want to work in making drinks, because I just think that it's really aesthetic, and I think I would actually really be good at that. I think that's something I would like to do, because you deal with people. I think I'm good at communications. You greet people, you take people's orders, and it also kind of trains your brain, because you have to remember people's orders and you have to do it and get the right ratios and whatever. I'm kind of looking deep into it, but I feel like it's something that I would enjoy doing, no matter how ordinary or basic it is. I feel like I really want to get the opportunity to work as a barista somewhere, either a bubble tea shop or a coffee shop. And I also think it is kind of aesthetic too, so maybe that's a kind of glamour that I want. But yeah, that's honestly a goal. And it's a really sad goal, and I shouldn't strive for that, but it's a goal for me. So, yeah, obviously not a long-term goal, but to get some money in and to just honestly take a load off and of school and everything. I would honestly prefer to do that than struggle in academics and stuff like that. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I really hope that I find a path for myself. If acting is something that, I find myself to be good at and I work hard in and I, strive for, and I hope I end up being successful in it. Because that is the one thing that I'm leaning towards pursuing. So, yeah, we'll see. Obviously, we're gonna try to do more research and figure out what else is out there, because maybe I don't really know all my options yet. So, always looking into more options. And yeah, like, I'm gonna go see my academic advisor. Me and my mom were talking about that because, I've told her about this stuff. And so I'm gonna go make an appointment, see what comes out of that. And yeah, I hope that I find my path in this life. And, if all things happen for a reason, then I hope that something good comes out of this and I find something that will make me happy. But yeah, and I hope also too I learn to improve on my bad habits, and I learn to, learn from them and grow for them. Because, if you go through bad moments, then it's kind of an indication that like you'll end up going through enough bad times to be like, okay, this needs to change. I can't keep going through this and experiencing these things. Something needs to change. So I think I'm coming to that point in my life where I feel like my life needs to change. I need to do something different, because I've struggled with these issues enough to want something else. So hopefully I make those moves and, I get lucky and things come my way and opportunities come my way, so that I can learn how to feel more satisfied and more optimistic about my life and my journey in life. So yeah, that's it. I hope to come with a more happier update, but that's the trajectory of life so far. So we'll see what else there is to come. Good night.